Hello, this is Linda K. Black, Secrets to a Happy Marriage. Okay, I think the secret to a happy marriage is have the same religion. Believe in God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. That's very important. And this morning I interviewed a man, and he said the most important thing is loyalty. Loyalty. And I talked to another woman again today, and she said appreciation. You have to appreciate each other. You have to do things for each other. You love each other. And the best, I've said this before, but the best marriages I ever went to was at a Catholic church. I went to Assembly of God, but I went to Irene's wedding, and the priest said, "You are the witnesses to this wedding. If they break any of these vows, you go to them, you tell them, I was at your wedding. I witnessed your wedding." We're supposed to tell them. We were witness what they said. And so one time, I said it before, Irene was so careful with her the bills, buying the groceries and everything, very, very careful, and she'd buy things on sale, get the cheapest price. You know, she'd do it so good, save so much money. But the husband would take the three girls out, and he'd spend all this money at the 7-Eleven store. But that's good. You need to do stuff like that. But, but both of you work together. You know what I mean? Okay. But the kids, they need to have the special treats and getting sodas and different things. You have to do that. Okay, but communication is most of all important. And if you're really, really mad at each other, don't say anything while you're mad. Wait till you cool down. And don't say things to the person that you're marrying. They'll always remember what you said. Don't say mean things. I know Roy Rogers and Dale Evans, they never went to bed mad. I remember reading that. They never went to bed mad. They forgave each other. Okay? And hopefully you'll be married until either one of you or the other one dies. But be nice to each other and be kind. And I used to say, why can't people just be nice to each other? Be nice. And you're supposed to put your husband and wife first. One lady, she had a business. She says sometimes you have to put your wife or husband first over the business. You have to be very careful. You know what I mean? But you have to make a balance, And love each other and be kind to each other. And when you're going together, the purpose of going together to see, can we get along? I remember this one man, he was saying, we can go out to date 7 times, and then if we really like each other, and then we'll have a relationship, But I thought that was kind of interesting, but no, I didn't go with him though. But anyway, but my purpose is, I think young people don't live together. Don't live together. It's better to be married. Because, when Jesus comes back, and this is end time, this is the end time, and the rapture is going to take place, and all the Christians are going to go up, but the people that are left, they can still believe in God and Jesus, and then they have to give their whole life, after the rapture, but they can still believe. I believe they can ask Jesus in their heart. Okay, but I tell young people, don't live together, be married. Because, that's in the Bible. You're supposed to be married if you're together, okay? Don't live in sin. As a married couple, you get married and do your vows, and then you love each other. And of course it's going to be hard being married, but you work at it, and it's worth it. And young people, they get married, and they have children, and they raise their children together, and then their kids grow up and get married, and then they have grandkids. And that's God's will. God made Adam and Eve, and they had children, and that was God's plan. But secrets to a happy marriage is to believe in God, Jesus, and the Holy Spirit. Don't cheat on each other. But if a woman should never try to take your husband, and you should never try to take somebody else's husband or wife. You don't break up a marriage and take their mate, okay? Okay? You don't do that. But love each other. And it's supposed to be till death we part. But a lot of people divorce. I'm divorced. But God will take care of everybody and everything. But I always try to do what's good and right. Okay? Always just try to do what's good and right. Okay. And I always say about this, a guy came to the First Assembly one time. He said he and his wife, they'd go to Disneyland, because that's what he liked, was a Disneyland band. And I guess they had yearly passes. And she liked to go to the ballet. He went with her to the ballet. Okay, like if you have a husband that goes fishing, you need to go up there with them. You know, you need to, I think. If you don't go up there all the time, he might meet somebody else up there. You know, but, and there's a man in Canada, he had a gallery, but I noticed every woman that came in, he pretty much said, I am married, I am married. He let all the women, I am married, and he loved his wife. And that's very important. And I always admire men who wear their wedding ring. You know, they're taken. Don't take somebody else's husband. Never take somebody else's husband. Okay, that's wrong. Okay? Okay, and take care of yourself. And once you get married, you know, be nice to each other. Love each other. Be kind. Okay? Never say anything mean. Okay? Okay, goodbye.